Hello, so please don't get confused. Matthew did not suddenly decide to transition back. I'm the Into Knitter and I am filling in for my crazy, busy friend who is in his senior year of high school. I must admit I'm feeling a little bit of schadenfreude on his behalf. But instead, you get to listen to me ramble about some random nonsense. So originally I was going to do a video about the whole Ash Hardell, Mardell, whatever her name is. But I found out that I just had way too much, and I will do a video on that kind of response later, and that'll also give me a good chance to later on I can see if she does hormone updates or whatever the fuck she's going to do. So I decided that I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead, I'm going to talk to you guys about kind of trans pride. And this was kind of something I was thinking about the other day. So the whole idea, I think I've said on my own channel, the whole idea of being proud of being transgender makes very little sense to me. I mean, why would you take pride in something that you didn't have any control over? One, that'd be like me taking pride over being white or having brown hair or wearing glasses. I mean, it's silly, really. But more importantly, why would I take pride in something that causes me so much pain? And I know the Ash Hardells and the Chandlers, whatever the fuck their last name is, they, because to them it's not this fucking thing that really causes, the being trans is not a thing that causes pain for them. It's not an issue kind of thing. But for, people like me, Matthew, transsexuals, it causes a lot of pain. So why would you take pride in that? But at the same time, I knew that I did take pride in something related to transition. And then I've realized that what I was taking pride in wasn't related to the kind of abstract, arbitrary concept of being trans, but rather the thing that I had control over, which was the transition in terms of overcoming the hardships of transition. And before I get too much further into this topic, I take pride in things that I've accomplished in life. So, as you'll see on my channel, if you want to check it out, I like to show non-trans stuff. Because I think it's really important, not to just focus on the trans, trans, da-da-da-da, that makes up the whole entirety of me. So I thought I'd show off some of my knitting. This is something that I take a huge amount of pride in. These are the Owly socks. This is a great little pattern. This is a lot of fun to knit. And I've got this nerdy, this thing's so cool. It's actually a tip protector. And I got a nerdy one with chemistry symbols because I love science. So that's one project I'm working on. The next thing I'm working on is, this doesn't look like much now, but this is actually going to be a sweater for my best friend. I'm making us both Weasley sweaters for the holidays. I'm so excited about this. It's a super easy pattern. It's a lot of fun to knit. It knits up really fast. And I think we're just going to have a blast. And I've got the other part, that's the back. This is the front, pretty much identical. There's a few changes on the front. But this is the kind of stuff I take pride in. My ability to learn something new, to grow as a person, to, So these are things unrelated to, being trans, But why was I feeling the sense of, I guess for lack of a better term, pride? Anyway, why do I feel this sense of pride relate to my transition? Well, I think that has to do with having overcome this huge barrier and this huge, problem in my life. I was finally able to come to terms, one, with what I was feeling and dealing with and all that crap. All this thing that I'd been struggling with my entire life and that I had tried to cover up and tried to deny to myself. I was finally able to come to terms with that and kind of all the mental anguish. And I don't know that that's necessarily what brought me like this. Also, transition is such a huge hurdle. I have all sorts of, I guess issues that seem to have come up from or been exacerbated by the hormones, even though the hormones have done an immense amount of good, and I would never go back. There are health issues that are related to estrogen, and I'm experiencing some, it seems. So, this isn't to say, shine a bad light on transition. It's merely to say that, when you transition, there's a lot of shit that you have to deal with. And it depends on what kind of person you are, obviously, with so many things. But also, this is this huge, almost, insurmountable thing. And when I first started out on, taking estrogen, or even, the process before of, because I consider myself full-time, I think about 2 years now. So it's been a lot of challenges aside from that. At first when you're not passing and you have to deal with people not really knowing what's going on with you, still referring to you as male because they see a man, that's dressed funny. So that was the first kind of hurdle. And I'm looking back at that, and yeah, it sucked. But and I could never go back. I would be kind of crushed if that happened again to me, but I don't think it will. I'm passing now. That was the first hurdle. And that took a certain amount of strength and kind of inner fortitude, if you will. The second big thing was, starting the hormones. Well, the second big thing was the surgery. That was a big thing that I had to overcome, because my recovery from that has been very bumpy. I'm still feeling pain occasionally from that, and that's been like a year and a half on. So just dealing with that shit and overcoming that has been important. And the third thing is the hormones and the crazy stuff that's thrown at me. So I'm realizing that this sense of pride isn't coming from, the being transgender part. It's the part that really is related to transgender, but isn't that. It's the part that makes you bigger as a person, that really makes you who you are. The ability to overcome obstacles in your life, to overcome hardship. And that's really what I think you can take pride in. So, maybe I will be at pride events and say I'm proud someday, but it won't be because I'm trans. It'll be because I've overcome all these crazy things in my life. So anyway, that's kind of the end of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let me know in the comments, what do you take pride in? What gives, if you are transgender, what, is it that being trans that gives you pride? Or is it something else? If you're not trans, what do you take pride in? Have you had similar hardships related to your health or related to other things that you've had to overcome? I want to hear from you, and a big thanks to Matthew C. for giving me a chance on his channel to talk to you guys. And so my microphone decided to commit a hate crime and cut out the last few seconds of the video. So I just want to say, if you want to see more from me, You can check out my YouTube and Twitter. I've been the Into Knitter. So much thanks to Matthew C. for giving me a chance to talk to you guys on his channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.